question. Here the Prasangas say that you can't assert that direct perception is from the side of the perceiving consciousness. It has to be direct perception from the side of the object that is perceived. The Tengyawala, the Hunsam, Sena, the Sheba ne Hunsam Sigyoma, the Yul ne Hunsam Sigyo,
Order.
they can't do.
Order. Odi Karsura. Oh, Nambiunga Dodi Bata, Simsam Bata to Luciana. Musum Siduko, Tobat and Trash, Matuer Battalion, Musum, Ugendil Shagora, Sabuch and Tongan Dilpa, Musum Shagua. That under De Lulia, De Musum Maris, Tonja Dilla. Sabuch ko Toya Shora, Ushora, or Dilumusum Shagures ora. The Karesinaco Lumelus, Samada Shaja said, Jigden Tanya Luton Shagures ora. Then Jigdenba called Udilamusum Sigores ora. Eugene Sigor Mares, Jigden Tanyelia. When I was Pagandasina, Midi, don't drink Musumba Res, Musumba. Musumba Resum, called that don't drink Musumba to red was cigarette. Me to Chachina. Call ya Midi, don't drink Musumba Resha cigarette. Don't they? Agora, on Musumba Resha. Some Musumbas they call Udila Sigores, Jigden Tanyelia. A dinner she shower Sigora.
In the system of the Sautrantika and the Chittamatra, then they say that for direct perception is an unmistaken consciousness that is free of conceptuality, and but the Prasangikas assert that you have to that direct perception has to be taken from the viewpoint of the object, what you see, or what's perceived, I guess maybe we would say. So then it's if the object is clear, then that means that you're having a direct perception, and what's stated is that this has to accord with worldly convention. It's really the convention of the world, because people, that's the way they think of it. They think of it as the object. They don't think of it as the perceiving consciousness. For instance, we have a saying in Tibet where when somebody's really a nasty person, then we say he's a what do you say? a real, I guess, is written, but the translation is a real devil, you know, but or ghost, if you want to say it that way. I think it's probably a real devil, and real here, the word is the same. It's the word for direct perception. So it's so in the world, just like when worldly convention, it's the object.
Oh, then Tongan Sheba de la Musum Takbawas. Musum Simingda Chodra, Takba, Musum Monedi, you did it.
And so when we talk about direct perception, it's then the object is said to be what is if the actual object is perceived, then it's the object that is then it's said from the viewpoint of the object being actual. And then the consciousness as the perceiver is just referred to as, you know, this, maybe just the so-called or something like that. It's just a name. It's just given the name, you know, direct perceiver or something like that.
아메리카 무슨 가르쳐그래 유래 쓰그래
원순순은 did.
유래 거기도 유전을 거기도 지단 몇 개씩 해야 돼.
That's it. Indicate good then. Perception, the perception sended the semdan yul yamde yongere. They because yul dan chen nika yamde.
Oh, dan jiden tanyelia. Tidu gagalia ko musun bas de yudel ko yikira. Yudel so ko yisara. Ya pebele tender chire ko musun du leson serch. Mijile de koran ran musun du leson sero.
Oh no. Yeah, the expression and perhaps in English, if we talk about direct perception, for instance, it probably, Genla asked me, and it probably means both the object and the perceiving consciousness. But in India, it seems like that really it's talking about the object, because like when somebody arrives at the house, it said, well, he's actually here or something. I mean, the translation is probably more, in English, it's more like he's actually here, but it's that same word, ngunsum, means, what do you say, directly, perceptibly here, direct, perceptibly here, or something like that.
Oh, yeah, the Indico Namju, Dotibana, Samsam Batu, Shesu, the Madratos, Yora, Sheba to Supena, Sheba Lokshin, and Sheba Tindu Karina, Rangana, the Rangla Musumba Resigra, Pumse Topaina, the Karina, Rangla Nawachiora, the Sheba de Musum Resur, Musumbre, Sheba Korandum Musum Takba Sigara, so Musum Nawa di Rangla Musum Sigra, Nawa Samayi Sigra, Lokshit. 당신이 다 나와야 참아야서라. 마벨로야. 그래서 그 냠수 용대고 그런 나와도 그런 용대고라. 하고 되고라. 들랭게 봐한테 듣고요라. 같은 데서 섬에 차르기요 섬제. 어디인데 그 나와야 참아야서라. 시바강가.
Oh, in different systems they talk about it in different ways, but for the Sautrantika, for instance, the appearance has this, you know, the consciousness is the thing that imputes, and then the appearance.
I'm sorry, is the same, so I couldn't hear the word.
Imputes.
For the Sautrantikas, the consciousness imputes what?
It is the thing that imputes, and then the object itself is considered valid, or tema means it's a valid object, I guess we'd say. It means tema. It means a pramana, right?
No, they yanko lokshituzo, lokbeshebarba tangzitozo. In the no sama in Uncle Chidan Sama Marisigra. Samas in the rank of Yuji Zodelia, Milua in any Samasores. So Tangzin de Tarawa towards Rawa Yomarwa. Tim de Co Sama Maris, Rang now la Samaresura. Rang Karina, Shiba Karina, Rang Nawatilla, Samashagura.
There are mistaken or wrong consciousnesses, and to those the appearing object is you know, not valid, and so then for instance, a self that exists in its own right is not valid. So then, but then if it's not a mistake, if it's not a wrong consciousness, then the object is considered valid, right?
Jidan sama maris, rang nawal sama res. Jidan sama maris, sama ima idi rang yuji zodala, sama ima itawares.
Yeah, that it has to be unmistaken as with regard to the principle, its principal object, and therefore it's unmistaken with regard to its principal object, and therefore correct, right, or valid. It's not valid in all ways.
Oh yeah. Sama yesik do, oh da bache. Karasana ko sheba karina sosolji nangi ora. Nawa de ngeba rangdo jin ren thogra. Semle kar charson sen tinde charson se. Nawa de temben ren thogudwa. China ko to yora.
Well, in general, to our consciousness is when an object when an object appears, then it's a object of our memory. We can bring it to our bring it to mind.
Oh, di mena ni mizu kiran kar tongson, kar töson, kar samson, milam kar tongson sen ko she me berendura. Ongan din de tongson na din de sha se yora. Rangdo ji temben den tugwa. Chizan ko sheba kan rang nawala samare se to yore se yora.
So then so appearances are known. If you didn't know the appearance, then you wouldn't be able to bring to mind. If somebody asked you, "What are you thinking?" or "What did you think?" or "What did you, what did you hear? What did you smell?" something like that, then you couldn't bring it to mind unless the appearance, you know the appearance.
Milam kar tongson sen she yora. Milam tong yedi ko samadu ke mara. Nawala samasa ko temben den yora.
Nawa de Dramba.
Den togudwa chizan nawala samara ko. Ngeba rang dob jin den tuna ko to de she de yora. Ko to mena ngeba rang dob jin den togumare.
For instance, even in dreaming, you can remember the appearances in dreams, and so then it's that dream, that consciousness that knows the appearance, because you can, if somebody asks you what did you dream, and you can remember what you dreamt.
Oh yeah.
So then it's valid with respect to its principal object. Because you'll Joel.
Oh, the chama yene yuji zo de milwa skora.
Yeah. Or what do you say? Not unmistaken. It's not deceived. Undeceived as to its principal object.
Pena dawachik danyi nangi yona. Washidilan dawachik ni tongu yona mik. Dajin danyi su nangi yona. Nawa di to yora. Tele samara dawanyi su nawa di to yora. Ina rangi juyu so din dawanyi dirwa. Dawanyi dile sama marwa ko toba na shi yo marwa. Nawa di yora. Nawa di to yora ko. Ngeba den to gore. Sama yene rangi juyu ju so de dawanyi dile sama yengura. Dawanyi di sama marwa ko toba na shi yo marwa tola. Nawa di yora ko. Ngeba den to gudwa. Oh yeah.
Then dawanyi dile
sama mare. Tisonza ko dajin danyi su tonggengi wangshidi sama mare sorachida. Rangi nawala sama mare. Sama yina yuji, rangi yuji zoodila sama yingure. Tinan dawanyi dila sama yingure. Dawanyi yomara kola sama jinga yomara. Dawanyi nawa de yora.
For instance, you can remember a double moon. If you had a perception of a double moon, the appearance of a double moon, then so then we have to say that it's dawanigi nawala tsema it's valid with respect to the double moon, but it's not valid with respect to its principal object of comprehension or object of engagement, because there isn't a double moon, for instance. Yeah, there's a lot of different things to say, but maybe that's enough.
Oh yeah. Oh, da yu, shologa, chukji dirwa. Yeah.
Subject going to get subject.
Subject la na la re. Da niba yujen la samayin ba karsuri. Yujen rangune tuba rang chen tuba de kakba de la ngandwa. Mi su la tachi ngoni chi tuba kakba sera. Di ngena na ta tangbo dira. Mi su la tachi ngoni chi tuba kakba de re. Yeah.
So we're on this section which is refuting that which perceives objects, the perceiver, the mind, or the subject, maybe you can say. Then here, the first one is refuting that the eye is, by way of its own entity, an instrument of looking at form.
Yeah.
So we've finished talking about refuting the object of the perception. Now we're talking about the perceiver itself, refuting the true existence of the perceiver.
Oh yeah. Tatambudi mi sula taji ngoni jituba kakba sigdwa. Mi di sula tabura. So taji ri tabura de rang chengi jitube rawandu tube taji ma resigwara. Dimba de pakagiwara.
So it's refuting that the eye is, by way of its I think the eye, refuting that the eye is essentially an instrument of looking at form. Essentially a instrument of looking at form.
Oh yeah.
I'm not talking loud enough?
No, and unclearly it's like you mumbling.
Oh, okay. I don't know if
I don't know why.
Yu sula sigra. Yu sula soba ngusum batani yu dese. Ngama sula gudwa. And yu sula soba ngusum bade yorese. Yu su de ngusumba yores. De yu de karesna ranguni tuba yores gora. Ten zinji yu sula soba ngusum bade zingengi sheba. Ten zimbarjibe migla soba wangbu yu bechirsi gudwa. Kusen su kugudwa. Tatilia odi paka pachigora.
So the assertion that is being refuted here is that because sense organs exist, such as the eyes, which are instruments of perception, such as the eyes, which are the instruments of perception, because sense faculties exist, such as the eyes, which are instruments of perception, directly perceptible objects such as visible form exist.
Taji pa kakwa chikdwa. Migni jungyur na tishin, miki tongi shenji miin sikdwa. Karasikrasina miki wangbu chochen sikwara, migni isde miki wangbu ni chochen si. Yani, suki keche miki de kyoge tongi wangbu shenji mimbe cheresigwa. Migni jungjur na deshin migi tongi shengi mesigwa. Migi wangbu tege yani sugi kechi de tongi resigwa. O tongi resi, kyoki tongi resi. Wangbu shengi, nawe wangbu, ne wangbu, che wangbu la soba tezoge sugi kechi de tongi ma resigwa. Wangbu shengi mimbe chirs, tonga mimbe chirsigwa. Ngonye ji su zinji mayin desi. Miki wangbu tezo ngonye ji rangshingi trube sugi su zimbar chebabu mayin desi wara. Yani jungjur inbe chirsi wara. Juan jungjur nigi nane kon jungjur inbe chirsi wara, miki wangbu te. Kena nawe wangbu shin nosi wara.
Here, the commentary reads, regarding the subject, the eye faculty, since the eye perceives visual stimuli while other senses do not, it does not perceive visible form. It does not essentially perceive visible form. For like the nose sense faculty, it is an outcome of the elements.
Yes, oh yeah, that is your. Tena never le nami tube sami kabar song segdwa. Kikar so mila soba jabatina mila soba misina sa. Make the ne tawabo rang chengi ji madu. Rwa ti madu ba yana ni mig mever and resigora. Ni migla soba misina legend number member sheba na gelo se. Lujo mbuche soboche ni migo mbuna mbuna mbula soba tezo. Ani kyawanga mai legi debu rese legi number member debu rese sung do ate dan geg do ase na se gora o shena se tene ko ja ge ja maga se ding azu ge migi ombu na ombu to ka ge mesera chi cher maga se na karjen ka ge yo mara se na ko ja ngobo nam rang ge ngoe to ba go ba yenges ngobo kare ina migla sok ba ombu ina da yu kare ina rangi ngoye drupa de ka ngoku yo rese. Tenjin rebran jongwa ya, migla sokpa tozo tenjin rebran jongwa rese. Ti sonza, tenjin rebran jongwa dube, tenjin rebran jongwa kongsu dube, tenjin rebran jongwa yengengi ngobu kanga, ngobu namni ngogi mayese kora, mengok parma sese, ranglu la ke lemba inose. Wangbu miki wangbu la sokpa tozo nami jin rebure, tozo nganzu ke lengi yung ngogi mayese kora. Rangwini truba ting gogi yor, kera rangwini truba keling dwa tawa tashi kanga ting gogi yosi gora. Te kona nyi jebe rigbe ni sambar minu shin, rangi ngoye ma drub jan, miki suk tongwa dram meto bala myondo minu ba ase. Di indi ko miki wangbo tozo ge suk tongre, dra togi ma re, tezo ngusum go tongre, ngusum tongwa di, nyamba menu se ngusum ge tonga de marese laptop marese gora tena ngebar le na mi se tube sami khabar song se mi ge ong bola so bale ge number me ba yo se semje nam ge le ge number me ba na sam ge mi khaps ngarazo ge dirin di marese kanga sam be khap tu gu mare so do as tena na mi ge de bu so yo re se ka pa chi ge me se kera rangwe ne to ba ye se do te ka pa chi ge yo song gora yeah.
So here an objection arises. If the I and so forth do not exist, it contradicts explanations concerning the maturation of karmic actions. And so here, or the fruition of karmic actions is another way of saying that. But even we do not refute that. Is the answer. Then the question is, why is that not refuted? Answer is, we refute that things exist by way, what do you say? We refute that things essentially exist but far from refuting the existence of all that is dependent arising, we affirm it in our own system. So it's saying that we're not refuting the fruitional effects of karmic actions. We're refuting that that these arise essentially, and that's what we're refuting.
Oh yeah. Tena lege number member samji michaba rigbar chene sigora. Ene rigbe teba majubar te rangune truba yimai tende teba majuba je takje majeba che. Ene kelang kugre sigora. Kelang barchawa yimbes. Nebar lege number member tobe samji michaba song de se. Toba sanje chumden dege ne lege number member samji michaba song shas. Kabasu song dosene dole se. Chumden simjen namje lege number member tayebes. Jule jigden de kun jung ar gurde shesong beso se. E long tare de digdo. Yeah.
The verse says, certainly, therefore, the subduer said, the fruition of karmic actions is inconceivable. Then the commentary reads, although it cannot sustain investigation by the reasoning which analyzes suchness, and though it is not established, it is not essentially established, it is undeniable that the eye sees visible form and does not hear sound. Thus, recognizing that the maturation of karmic actions is inconceivable, you should accept it without applying analysis by reasoning. Certainly, therefore, the subduer said that the fruition of actions, of karmic actions, is inconceivable. Where did he say it? In Sutra, the following one. The maturation or fruition of sentient beings' karmic actions is inconceivable. Thus, the whole world comes into existence through causes.
Yes, we don't do that. Sugge Jungni Badira. Tandi Karshek Dosna Niba Namshe, Shebabu in Bakaba Sigdwa. Migla Soba Ranshinki Yode Sigorango Mawage. Migi Wangbula Soba, and Rangone Yodi, Ranshinki Yodi, Ranging to Yode Sigora. Ten Drebu, number Sheba, Migi Sheba, number Sheba Kiva Tom Yeshe Sigora. Naveombone Ombuche Ombula Soba, Ranshinki to Yoris, Karesana, Tedag and Drebu. Migi number Sheba, number Sheba, number Sheba, so by KVH Sigdo. Oh, Tadi Paka Pachigora.
This next section, this next verse, verse 312 or 12, is refuting consciousness as agent, as an agent. The assertion here is that the I and so forth are inherently existent because one experiences consciousness, their effect, then the eye and the nose and the ear and so forth are inherently existent because one experiences consciousness, their effect.
This one. Dandirda. Dandi. No. Migla Soba Ranshinki to be Kawa Yote. Migla Soba. Ramini to be Kawa Yote, ten Trebunam Shiton H. Sierra. Tadil Pakabache, Tabasum Chen Kabachigdwa. Oh, Kandechiresna. Miki Sheba de Sula Tavangaru to Yovereta, Sula Tavangaru to Mebereta, Sula Tawata, Tunyamdo, and Suzimbe Namshiti Nyamdo Yoveres, Tabasum Chen Pakagdwa. Oh, that Ambudere. Miki Sheba ne Sula Tavangaru to Yoba Mahindi Sigdwa. Tengaru to Take Kema Sam H. Sigora. sula tawa de tu tawa ngele yo mare sula tawa le mewa de korwa so mewa ge sula tawa ngele sheba ngondo mege sheba de yo mare mede mege sheba ke wala mege ombo ta la so ba ken san ko bale ken ma san ve echer mege ombo de me ve echer sigora ken ma san jir sheba ne tawa ngaru yo ma yin se de teaching labshan ta cheshan
Yeah, so this is being refuted with three reasons, looking at it from three different ways. And in the verse, it mentions those because the conditions are incomplete. There is no awareness before looking, so it's before looking. While afterwards, awareness is of no use, so it's after looking. And then the instrument is no use in the third case, which is they're both. The third possibility would be that they're simultaneous. So here, it starts with refuting the first one. A visual consciousness does not exist before looking at a form, for prior to that, the conditions which produce it are incomplete. No, there's not a
oh yeah, when the China shedon mesudwa. When the sula tawe chisu ne suzimbe number shebade yobade when the China dome shedon mese. Oh sula tawe chelia number shebade yobayena. And number shebade elia and nekar sura. Sula tawe chi yuna. Sula tawa la migi sheba de tome bartha sigora. Migi sheba ngaru du sula tawa tacha veche sigora. Te ngaru du sula tawa yu veche sira. Yundi chi su namshi ke tawa de ngele yuna. Eni sheba ke wala ya migi ombura soba tome ban yugre sigidwa. Niba dire.
And so then the second one, the second reason then is while afterwards awareness is of no use. So it's after the perception. And here it says alternatively, in the commentary it says alternatively, if the visual consciousness exists after looking at the form, it follows that the eye consciousness is of no use in looking at the form, because looking takes place before it exists.
Yeah, that's somebody there. And the Tawa Sumba, Mil Sula Tawa, Sula Sunzimbe, make a number shape and you chickar to join in a sigora. Yamdo to join in somebody in a sigora, Tonase. And in Mishi Kewalaya, Tawe Chawa, Sheba, Damevan Guatas. And in Migi Sheba, number Sheba Kewalaya. Tawe chawa cheme guarta sigora. Chawa cheba de teme imbarta. Ko ngaru du chikja du keve echre. Kyu tawa de da number sheba ni chikja du keve echre sigora. Tele toba meba chikja du ju echre. Sumba cheba teme gyur sedra. Sumba tawa da number sheba ni chikja du keva yena. Ne number sheba keva lo sula tawe cheba chawa cheba de teme du gyur kede sigora.
And then the third possibility, one might think that which looks and consciousness, that which looks is referring to the visual faculty and the eye faculty, I guess we call it, and the consciousness are simultaneous. Then it would then follow that the instrument of looking would be of no use in the production of the visual consciousness, because the two would exist simultaneously and would be unrelated if they exist essentially. So the line in the verse says the instrument is of no use in the third case.
Sumba dirida. Tenzenga yubenane sumba. Me cheba boyimba kakba asigdwa. Yetama yege sula tachi to ngoni ji tuba kaba namshe cheba bo yimba kaba mig cheba bo yimba kaba right tanya
The Miki.
this way
Mig cheba.
somebody ra mig cheba bo yimba kaba dera
Now we move from refuting that which perceives objects is what we've been doing, and refuting that the I, and then refuting consciousness and as the agent. Now we're refuting the I as agent, and refuting the I as agent and has three parts, and the chasumda.
no ya ti sumdo wa ta tangbu dera da
And so we're on the first one.
tangbu sula tawe dro dan dena hajan tawa se dera do wa kede mig ni tawe cheba bo yino shenas mig de sula tawe cheba bo rangune tuba yino shenas gora ene mig sula ta na yuji tungdo sone tam ma songa ta stwani chigdo wa mig sula tawa yina ene mig sula ta na mig de sugi tungdo pa chine ene sula tagi yorda ma songa daga ne pa khadul tagi yorese stwani ngdo wa dan roni tagi yorese na mig de tredan denjur na thagrin yuri kitong jurse ene tride yongenge ta nyawar yobate mig jogba thon ta rewar yobate ya ene mig gorne yuringbuchin tongu ban jur kresi gora ene niman dawala soba ta ko ne mangbung gorgira ta rangbura o tende tagresi ta mig de pa yugi tilon roni tongu yona sungara tene
So there's the assertion is that the eye is the instrument of looking, and so and there's two ways of looking at this. When the eye looks at a form, does it look after traveling to the object or without doing so? So if the and that first one is addressed by the first two lines where it says, if the eye travels, that which is distance would take long to see. The commentary then says, in the first case, that is, that the eye travels to the object, if when the eye looked at the form, there were a motion of traveling toward the object, it would take longer to see distant objects.
this way niman dawa to tongalan gorgire sela sare
For instance, to see the sun and the moon, to look at the sun and the moon would take a longer amount of time.
no this ora tanda ninga tira ati niba derida kede migi tene zina ta migi da yu di tene zingi yuna rawa kede migi tene zina hajan yewe ta nyebuli yunge migla men nakpo koya dwa mingma koya wata o tinde tunma koche di segu jira so da che ringdu nebe sugde ta ringbuli yube sugde sewar che di tsungba mi tsungbar ta tene dimbe ta ringbudi mi sewa tungira ta nyebudi sewa tungira ene ko chi de le ne tungu yune niga sewa che tungu kurwa di ta ringbudi mi sewa tungu kumare sugera hajan nye dan che ringdu sugde sewar che di mi se sewa che tungu kure ta ringbudi ya yeah.
So then the next way of looking at it is where the eye meets the object, and so then sort of through contact it would be, and so the two lines in the verse say, why are extremely close and very distant forms not clear? So if the eye perceived through contact, kind of through meeting is another way of putting that, why would the eye ointment and spatula which are extremely close, and very distant forms not be equally clear. So then this idea of eye ointment and spatula is talking about an Indian custom of putting dark, painting your eyes, I think, with some kind of dark, I don't know, they use something to put this, you can call it eye ointment, okay? It's a dark thing they put underneath. So if those are held out and clear to see, then something far away should be equally clear. If it follows that they would be equally clear because of being perceived through contact. Do so.
Tadi niba derida, tagindelia, sumba mi cheba wimba kawadoro sungyora, mi sula tawe dodan diana hajan tawasera. Su tone tawe chedon rona, goba meba tawase, niba dera. Shologa chupshidera. Kede su tone, tambu su ton, ene su tawe chedo, miki sheba de pa, yu tilin rogo nasigora, ene goba yoma resingene tonsa resigora. Kede su ton, mig rona, Sombe yunden gaya mese. Kede suk tone, miki suk tone, ene miki shebe chongdo, sheba de pa roa yena sigora. Kede suk ton miki rona, sombe yunden gaya mese. Rona, sombe yunden gaya medese, miki suk tone, tene suki nyewar, miki number sheba rogo yona, ene miki number sheba, suki chilin roa de lo kweba kaya yoma rechara, yunden kaya yoma, karesene, Tungundu suk tong sa resura. Sula tawe chedun roa yena ngane suk tong sembe cherese. Kede suk tong ming rona sonwe yunden gaya meese. Tilabda tangudu.
So here we're on the second of the two reasons of refuting the I as agent. And this one is in the outline, it refers to it as purposelessness if it travels to look at the form after it is seen. So if the commentary says if the eye traveled to the form after seeing it, its movement would be of no benefit, for although it does so to view the form, that form has already been seen. So the verse says, if the eye travels when the form has been seen, its movement is of no benefit.
Oh yeah. Tangiba derda. Yana tajar ndebane ngeshe chawa chumbar gyurse. Chwa nyigna nerwa. Niba de chide matonwar. Meke matonwar. Ani suga chungdu shibepa chini tawa inasigora. Matonwaran rona yanse. Kedi sug tone mik sugi chungdu rona. Some yundenga yamba ore. Sula tawa chidu yina ngane tonsin bechi. Chide miki su matonwar sigdwa. Chide miki su matonwar. Ane sula tawa chidu sugi chungdu pan roa inasigora. Inane ngebar tongshi jawa chumbar gyurwa taase. Yana tachar ndebane ngeshe jawa chumbar gyuru sedira. Yani chumba yimbar taase. Longa tar matonwar tachar chungdu roa chis. Ko matoni pan rugi yunani ko longa na shiri pigan roa na tonya ke yungu ma resigora.
So alternatively then, well, the verse says, alternatively, it is false to say what it intends to view is ascertained. So here, alternatively, in the commentary it reads, alternatively, if it approached, this is the eye, right? If the eye approached without seeing the form which it intended to view, it would be false to say that it had definitely been seen, for it approaches what is to be viewed without seeing it, like a blind man.
Drisa, oh yeah. That's Sumba did that. Make Mason or only just soon. Make the you get trying to pound Romego, Rangshinjiko, and it's soon Zimba Inasigara. Any you can turn Tavek Grace Agara. A candidate, I cheat the candy pond donation. Make my son and Zina this come to share a candy jogumare and make the pig you get trying to drogumare. My son I call Rangshinji, you didn't think of Grace and Asigara. Cheat the candy pond donation. Come to share a song that read on my son, the Thabkhe and the Kabachigora. Or they can't depend or make the and then make the you get trying to soak it on to Masone and Rangshinjiko make the soon and give a senasigora or till it came to the Kabachigora.
This next and final section of refuting the I as the agent is the consequence that all objects would be seen if the I essentially perceived form without traveling. It's just that there's kind of an objection that we can surmise from this that if those ways of perceiving don't work, then we say that the I essentially sees the object without traveling.
That is this way. Make man song Zinanin Rowan Degun Tongur they said the Tambudra. Make the you to Masonara. Rangshin Jane, so Zingi Yonasigora. So Tongi Yobam, so Zingi Yonanis. Dina nebe make it Kansa de la Yebe make the gay. Tiny Rinta, Timothy Sojan, Rowan Degun Torn your dese. Make my song Zinanin, Rowan Degun Torn your say. And he make the co tiny boyunanda, tiring boyunanda, part of Tipsy Yunanda, Tipsy Mananda, Kanga Tonarta, Rangshin ko Tonabo in Beach, Tongi Beach Sigara. Timothy and Rowan Degun Torn your day. Make Anla Yuju to draw you by my soon only the Tona Tella. So they make a Rangshin, only the Rangshin ko Tongi Yabana, and Kanga Tongo de Sigara. You'll a tiny remember Tongore. Tipsy you my Samatini Kebameba Tongo Beach Sigara. Make my son Zinanin, Rowan de Tongo de. Then it can't draw you remember. Tella ring me Tiba me Saturday. Tiny ring down Timothy Kebameba Kanga Tongo Resco Rangshinji. Make the Rangshinji ko so Tongiona. And so Kanga Tongo tiny ring the Tipsy you may Kavayoma Resigora. Shandal Temagora.
Yeah, so the way the commentary states that is to avoid those errors, one might assert that it perceives form by way, essentially perceives form without traveling. So in that case, the verse says, if the eye perceives without traveling, it would see all these phenomena. For that which does not travel, there is neither distance nor obscuration. And so in the case of essentially perceiving without traveling, then the eye which stays here would see all of these phenomena, the close and the distance, as well as the obscured and the unobscured. This is because it's essentially it's essentially a perceiver. So then it sees everything. It's going to see everything because it's essentially a perceiver. It's not dependent upon any other conditions. So for an eye which does not approach, the object there should be for an eye which does not approach the object, there should be no difference between close or distant, obscured or unobscured objects.
단데서 강가 고 셰카리 셰고레스나 뭐마도 랑원에 두베 수기스 통화당 주 리그바트를 샤겨라 어디 랑원에 두베 수기나 아니고 간데스레 째째나고 라고라 돈이 두고여래 마통도 만돈 통고여다 간데 통고여레스데 어딘데 고 말에 통고여레스나 도슬레 때 메고바 때진 제일 메고바고 통화디 말에서 진짜 따뜻한 째는 얘기야 말에서구라 자고 라면에 요나 에체는 딘데제는 컨데레스도 코디레스 지 라고 요나 딜라베 메나 에네타 라면에 면도 와세 다 딱실레 때네 봐le 딱봐 삼을 샤고도 와세 딜라고 요나고 그 라면에 다 가봐야 딘데 통게 딘데 딱지 지거라 마도 신데 삼마고나 그 가르치기는 된다 맹기를 납대어라 미리 반돈 동그래 만돈 동그래 가르치 돈다가 말아 디시거라 통 딘데 고 말에서나 아니 딘데 째나 라요 말에서 통 보고 땡진 될냐니 통구요래서 딘데 질라고 요라 뒤쪽고 요라 돈다데 디질라나
if you step back and look at that at what's being asserted and why we're asserting this, then that when you say that it essentially that the I essentially exists, then that means that that if you examine, you should be able to come up with something that is actually there, and so then you have all these different ways of saying, well, if it's actually there, then what happens? Does the eye like move out to the object and travel there, or you have all these different assertions, but and so then in that way you refute the idea that there's some what do you say, essentially existent I there. And then once you refute it, then what that establishes, then you establish in its place that there has to be some kind of a dependent, that you can't, there's nothing that can be found, or what do you say? If you examine, there's nothing that can be found, but there is a dependent arising of perception. That it's, there's a, what do you say, dependent imputation of dependent, what do you say, a dependently imputed perception that's taking place.
뭐야? 다이 디 쇼르가 주도들어 디선 다 시바 미데 미글라 때네 다제도 타와네스기도 미데 랑신기 주베 타와 보이나 아니 미게 고 랑신기 다제네 강갈 타고 그래서 오라 따투고 그래서 되네 미게 밀라 따투고 그래서 디 타와 당겨라 그래서 디 타그래 미게 생게디 고 타와 보인 바데 이러 따지 임바데 솔로 따지 임바데 랑신기 주바지요나 라만도 주바지요나 랑경어 주바지요나 이때 강갈 따고 와서 오라 코란에 따와 줍고 그래서 오라 미데 밀라 때네 따지도 타와네 시다르 메도 잠바카다 우발라 속바 트다 티 당부 랑게 땡라 미네 치 때다 trebal에 딜라 속발라 미바타르시로 그나 메도 트마도 당부 소소를 트마이요 그래서 오라 소소를 트마이요 바데니 샹라바 캠니 샹달바 트마디 레고 그래서 오라 근데 미도저 랑신기 따와 보이나 다지기나 당부 소소를 따와디요 근데 샹달바 따와디 바요 그래서 오라 근데 경신은 가고도 경신이
This next verse, 316, or the 16th verse in the chapter, here is the consequence that the eye is an instrument of looking in relation to the eye. So then here the the verse says, if the nature of all things first appears in themselves, why would the I not be perceived by the I itself? This is if it's the nature of the I to perceive, then why wouldn't it perceive itself? And the example given in the commentary is just as the fragrance of the magnolia or blue lotus is first found at its source and afterwards through contact on a sesame seed or some other object, it is the way of all things that their nature first appears in themselves. It's so that the I would first be able to perceive itself. Drisa.
Yeah. Tang dira. Ngobu kunji rangshin ni tangbur taala nang jur na sikdwa. Sa ngobu kandre shina kora rangshin ina. Migla tawa de tache de ko rangshin ina. Rangshin di rangla tangbur rangla yoko re sikwa. Ngobu kunji rangshin ni tangbur taala nang wari jurwa yi. Jurwa de lu re se. Dradang re sikwa. Dimbe se. Ngobu kunji rangshin ni tangbur taala nang wari jurwa de jidang kondulu chi re sikwa. O yina se. Migni kinzin kyur tinde yina, migdi tachi yinpade rangi ngonyi ji chubki yona sigwara. Yini migla tuyone jan rangshin din dormi sire, migla tuyone jan mig koran tachi yingure. Ko tawar cheba bo yinpade rangshin ji chubba yina, migla tuyode ko tachi yingure sigwara. Migla tuyone jan rangshin din dormi sibe se, tachi din dormi sibire, tachi yingure, kore tawar tukure. Mig nijin zimbara, Tene migde migin zimban dugres wara, migla tawa tan dugres wara. Kuzen kange chir migurdin jura tas wara imbarta. Migi wangbote migle so chawala. Tene ja tache ji rangshi din dorme sibecha. O migi wangbote migla ne chawa chebe chane ja ko tache imbote dorme sebere ko le tache ingur ta thukku gres wara. O din migni kin zimbar China Gurmai Gurko days. Yeah.
Then the commentary continues. Since the I here cannot relinquish its nature even in relation to itself, if it's an instrument of looking, or if it's essentially or naturally a instrument of looking, an instrument of looking, why does the I not perceive itself? It follows that it should, since the I faculty, even with the I as its object, cannot give up its nature as an instrument of looking. It would
Patunda ko di takin labna shira. Rangune truba yena ane te kyonte tangiwara. Me tachi imbate, me tawa tachi imbate rangshin ki truba, rangune truba chi ina sigwara. Ene ko me tachi imbate shenla tevchin drel me go bare. Tiena ko me de tawala yu su yu kore. Pardo nawa yo kogure tene soso me tege pa kunong ya tando yo kogure ken mangboje chone ene tongora paru tongba yo kore nawa yo kore mangbole tochin tene tagora tiene ko tochin tene tawa bonjur gyora kanga tongi mare ko sugda tongronga de tongure shenda tongala kyujin sangi mare de tawala kyujin sangi yora sa tochin tene tele tagyora tiene rawando tachi ti yungyo mara Rangang rangshin di tachi di yungyo mara. Shen la tochin di chume tachi di yungyo wara. O tinde chane ko gyoncho gyo wara.
What's being done here is that you're they're refuting that there's somehow that there's some essential nature nature about the I that makes it the perceiver. And so then what's being established then is that for the I to perceive its object, there's many different causes and conditions that have to come together, and then the perception happens. It takes place. But if all of those causes and conditions are not assembled together, then there won't be any cognition, or there won't be any perception.
No, yeah. Then I make Zimba Temek Kegbe, Mini Church answer. Moni Sula Tower Chiba Maresura. Make the Rangshingi Sula Tower Chiba Truba Maresura. Shan Mambuja Touch and Jenico, touch it to Tukuresura. Rangshingi touch it to Trubaina, and you run like Taku Resura. Oh, de Tavalia, run like Tatukumare. Rana Tawala Tinibaru Migi Tawala Tongbakore, Tongsanchi Kugure, Baru Tongbakure, and then Nawa Kugure, Teneko Tong Ronachukure, Mambutokura. She was all Jujin tended Tokbala Tene, and in the Tawares, Bashakuramato, Kotseni Nieva, touching him by Rangwin and Rangshinji Trubachi Maratiana, and he make a Rangaran like Takures, this Sigura. Rangla Medavechere, Penangambushinos, oh, dear.
So here, then it makes the conclusion, yet valid cognition negates that the I perceives itself. So when all these, so there's no, an I cannot be an instrument of looking by essentially, or can essentially be a instrument of looking. Because it does not look at itself, you need some kind of space in between. You need the eye, and you need the eye faculty and the object. It's all these different conditions come together, and then we impute, based upon all those conditions coming together, that the I perceives its object. So that's what's being established here.
Oh, yeah, this one. Oh, Danga Shologa Chuji Batteria. On the Gasidos, Naba Kinsum Togwa, Sula Taji in Bakagbanes, Tako Lago, oh, Temare, Kinsum Tajin, Miki, Temata against Sum to Tog, the Togbalatene, and the Sula Tagoresena. Oh, Keran Digmaretine, Rangshinji troops Sigdoa, Teleti Yungumaris Pakabachigora. Some by Kinsum Togba Taji in Bakagbanes. Kedi Mig Gashila, Sula Tawe never made yes. Mig Bashila said Gashila and Gimare. Kedi Mig Gashilas, me Imbertadar. Kedi Mig de Yun Gashila, Sula the Mar. Kedi Mig Bashila, Sula, Su Tawe never made it. Mig Janjan Maris and Mig Bashila in Kojiri. Kedi Mig Bashila, Sula Tawe never yomares. Mama Labiora. And the Cares and the Kinsum Sobalatene so Ton Euros. Kinsum Sobres Lara. Oh. That did about Capachiora. And the ditch labna.
So now we arrived at the fifth of the parts of the refuting that which perceives objects, the perceiver. And here the refuting a combination of three factors as the instrument of looking at visible form. When we say three, so the assertion is that the eye alone does not have the ability to view form. The form is seen in dependence upon the combination of three factors, the three factors being the object condition, I don't know, the sense faculty condition, and then the immediately preceding condition.
Migla namshe yome shin sikdo dira. Namshe laya tamelas. Migla ya number shebati yoba mare. Number shebati laya mile tawati yoba mare. Niga sula yome na se su de laya ti niga tawata tene karsure. Namshe ta tawa niga yoba mare sure. Niga sula yome na teda ki su chidar tons. Teda ki su chidar tons de metonga tarasigiwara. De kande dosna. Migla pembo imbes, mig te pembo ra, tuyo tuwa. Te sonza yu number sheba yoba mingshins, kolo sheba yoma resi ora. Number sheba la ya sula tawe sheba melas. Number sheba te sula tawa se te mig wangbo sukjente chi kogyo re chik chil tas, mig tasigra jiktena ya. Mati indi ko sheba te ko namshe sonza ko tawa se ate yungu yoma rwa. Sukjendabshi miwaangi miki sule ta nawe ta nye ne ti namsigi wara. O dinde nambar sheba laya sula tawe cheba di yoma res, tawa di yoma res wara. Melas. Tawa ta namshe niga miki sula me na se. Tawa ta nambar sheba, tonggengi sheba, tawa di miki miwaangi shirwa. Tonggengi sheba, miki nambar sheba terwa. O tinga, ti niga ti Mekin sok de la tenika yoba maare se ora. Yoba mina se. Kin sung sokba te dake su ngo nye ke chidara tonga me te barta yage su la yang tongwe niba tanga trewe chiri se. Kin sung sokba de kabando de la ne namshe la ne mido, miwa la ne mido, tema takin la ne mido, sokba se te yoba maare se ora. Yulan te yoba maare, de la shebal te yoba maare. Kinsum tsokba sayade rangi ngoyo chuba yuwa na tsokba di chikan tsokore, kaba tsokore, tsoka di ragme duwa sigire. Chaza tsokba di kena rangshin chi chuba kailingi warwa. Di le teni kiawa yungu maare sigura. Ranglu le kinsum tsokba le teni kigire. Da ko tsayani nyaya yuwa maare, di le mendo dindre tsayani raya yuwa maare. Tutu teni takba te samli teni pa taani shaagure sigura. Sawa dindre kudwa, dindre da. Migla namshe yoga ma reshara, miwantula namsheba yoga ma ra pemburwa kutututuba. Namshe laya ta, namshe laya tangengi miwantu yoga ma reshara. Niga laya suyo minsiduta, niga sula yoga ma di, migda namshe niga di sula ni yoga ma reshara, taji yudel yoga ma reshara. Teda ki su chidar thongs, tene, migi nambar sheba ke, ten sun sobala tene, sula kandis tagri, tawa di ragama reshara, ranguni tuba. Yone di kaba tsoyon dili yuwa sidi ragma resi gora. Kiyon di tedali tenne takpa tsamu shagu resi gora.
So here in the commentary, then it sort of analyzes these three factors, or what are we calling them? Yeah, three factors. And so since the I is matter, it is not conscious of the object. The I can't here be, it doesn't have any consciousness to it. And consciousness is not that which looks at the object, because consciousness by itself is not a that looks like the object. Without an object, then it's not something that it doesn't have that somehow the power on its own to look at the object. The form, the objective condition, then is neither that which looks nor consciousness. And so then how can form be essentially seen through a combination of these three factors? if you search amongst these three factors, if you say there's like a combination of coming together, then where is the combination? If you look for the combination, you can't find it amongst these three. So then it follows then that you have to, when these three come together, then when these factors come together, then we impute perception based upon these factors coming together. There's nothing that can be found from its own side. When you say essentially, and you're saying that there's something from the side of the perception that what do you say? There is something that exists from the side of the perception. It's not. It's imputed. We impute perception on the basis of these three factors. And so then in the verse it says, the eye does not have consciousness, and consciousness that lacks that which looks. If form has neither of these, then how can they see form? So in the commentary it says it follows that it is not feasible because visible form, which is one of them, has no ability to see.
This way.
Yes.
Yeah. Tanga zu sholoka de dengi yorda omike. Jobke liudo.
Thabkhe.
Oh, ta niba nyenja tindrup kakbalas. Ta tanda suche. Ta tra nyenja tindrup kakdwa. Niba nyenja tindrup kakbadile tonsen sumrisdwa, sabje sumdwa. O di nane ta tangbudiridwa. Tra de mawe chebabu imi tala kakbas. Tra de mawe chebabu imba da mayi takche chen kakbadiridwa. Tangbudi. Ya tichilam nale.
So here, we're at the second part here of the, refuting the sense faculties, refuting that sense faculties apprehend objects that essentially exist. And so then here, now, the first part was refuting truly existent visible objects, and now we're refuting truly existent auditory objects. And that has three parts.
Oh yeah, tanga zu tangbo dirida. Tangbo tramawe chebabu imita la kakba asikidwa. Te kona nido sula tawar meheba tars. Rangshingi truba sigwara, te kona nido truba sine. Te kona nido truba, rangwado truba, rangchengi truba, rangshingi truba la sigwara. Ine sula tawar meheba shindo se. Miki sula tawa da chi tanda tangmali ya kakba chesara. Ine miki digi sula tawa meheba tarse. Mitheba tarse rwa. Ine tra nyemba ya mehe te se, nawe ombe tra nyemba te ya, ine tegma re sigora. Rangwine trubali ya, nawe ombe tra nyemba te ya, jo tukwi ma re, jo bar mehe sigora. Jo tukwi ma re sigora. Tra tue na se, tra tue ba na sigora. Tra tue ba na se, nawe ombe tra tue ba na sigora. Nyembe yudu chimbam, ma chimba shi tue tranga se. Tra de nyembe yudu, tra tue ba na, ene tra tue ba na nyembe yudu chimbam, ma chimba shi tue tranga, truwa nyi chigirwa. Tangbu dana tra nyenshi ki yudu pa chini, ene tra di tue ki yu na sigora. Tra nyenshi ki yudu nroa na, tra chinshin nroa tra mebar nroa sera. This one. Garsigure sena. sula de kona ni do ten tambalya sula tawa de joto kumari shesara o ten tamba trube on duchene ini nave tanya bade joto kumari sigora o kare sena takje chigora tela rangune yona kawa yo se tsaji chigora ini tratwe banas nave tratwe banas rwa ini nyembe yudo chimba machimba shi tyo sigora 당부 따나 자데 녀시기 유도파 친에 되고요다 마치는 되고요레스 저니 제라 자녀시기 유돈 좋아나 자 진신 좀 자코란 자기 녀시기 유돈 두고요다 당부 자 매바제 아니 베게레도 자자네 녀시기 유돈 두고요레스 거라 자 매반 로스 당부 따나 제라 녀시기 자 좋아나 녀시기 유돈 좋아나 자 진기 판도아 이나서 자 유기 자신 도아 이나서 거라 아니 개데 마신 단도나 하세라 자데 계절이 지는 간주 계절 쉐버데 에 계절 코나 누구 제 미주 암주 나वे간 고야 누구 이나서 거라 개데 마신 단도나 강게 마와 포르민 주르세다 개데 마신 자데 녀시기 유톤 도나서라 교세 강게 마와보 민주르된 교로아타세 자 코라니 마와 본데신 준도 레시라 게데 마시 단도나 강게 마와 보르미 주르된 주르아타 하시고라 세진더 자 조신 로베에처 자 코랑게 세진기 자자보네시 자 코랑게 자도기 도기 판도요 레시고라 네 케제 셴게디 자 코랑데 케제 셴게네 셰던도요 레시고라 세진더 자 조신 로베에처 게데 마시 단도나 강게 마와 보미 주르세 자 코랑데 해진내시 마마보전도 그랬어요. 이네 근데 멤버 로나 야서라. 근데 다 멤버 다 맞아가 제반도 아이나. 이게 근데 멤버와 녀시기 유돈 로나서로. 교세 강게 따텔라세. 근데 멤버 로나야 강게 텔라 셰바께 세더라. 멤버 근데 멤버와 녀시기 유돈 로나 교세 강게 따텔라 mikbe sheba ke trache yam trabecha ani nyeshe ke kotobu mar ko tra ma trabecha ndugora ni begendo ne ko heme cha gresi gora no
so
tambu chingi de la ani chama ni de la ne do ya
so now we've already discussed visible forms. So the commentary says, just as form cannot be looked at in terms of its own suchness, that you can't have essentially existent form, then sound too cannot be listened to in this way as essentially existent. So if sound makes a noise as it travels, why should it not be a speaker? This is the first two lines of the verse, and the commentary then says, when sound is heard, does hearing occur because it approaches as the object of that which listens, or not? Is the sound hearing because it's approaching the listener. In the first case, if it approaches as an object of auditory consciousness, does it do so emitting sound or silently? So if it travels towards the auditory consciousness, making a noise as it travels, why is it not a speaker? Why is it not a speaker? Since, like Devadatta, it travels emitting sounds. It would be like somebody talking as they approached you. If this is accepted, it follows that it would not be sound. Alternatively, yet if it, this is the second two lines, yet if it travels noiselessly, how could awareness arise in relation to it, So alternatively, if it travels toward auditory consciousness noiselessly, how could awareness focusing on the sound be produced, since no sound is emitted? And if it's coming noiselessly, then you wouldn't have any, what do you say, auditory perception of the sound.
Oh, Tandi go Pechan, Lela Hakosada. Penan Joshua could try to love with one. The natural loves one. The getting much Trandona Sketch Share. Catch the biggest something, the Karsara. The Sharawasti, Combabat to Yora. But when you tell Yora, Kindibaso Tugora. Oh, the Duco didn't try to the Kiran tried. Oh, Salvo Chichis, Ness, Negarachis, Chilavina, Salvo Ness, do your da. Tineva Kai Malo, Jifigure led you to try your Sierra. Salvo Ness, do you know? And Joshua Nashiko Mahaburet was a Kansam, Drama in Batagres or a Salvo Ness, Malav Jakavas, and Pigaledu, Salvo Ness. Love in a segura. Didn't do tram members, people let you try Marisura. I'm just cooking Marisura. No, dear. Don't say you are at and da. Ranguna Yona, Trato said the Ranguna Yona, that can just two those segura. All the attention to average you are at 10 that tell the Chashago, the several mother. That's as you think in Rai or Marisura. Oh, yeah,
maybe it's easier to understand through an example. If you take, for instance, Joshua speaking to the audience in Sravasti Abbey, and then, for instance, saying the word Sravasti, then well, does that sound somehow, is it something that's held, as it, because we're looking one way is it's just going towards your ears, and constantly making the sound of Sravasti all the way, and then if that were the case, then it would be the speaker, that sound would be the speaker itself, and then but if it was just silently going there, then by the time it arrived, you wouldn't be able to hear it because there wouldn't be any sound. So then when it finally arrived at your, in your ears, then there would be no sound. So then what's being said is that we can't, if we look for it, so you couldn't hear the sound if there was no sound being emitted as it came towards you. So then this is refuting the idea of essentially existent sound or essentially existent noise being made, and because essentially existent means that you should be able to, when you look for it, it should be able to be found, but then you come up with all these ideas that don't pan out. And so then when in that way, then you refute this idea, and the only way that you can establish that based on many different factors coming together, then we impute sound.
Oh yeah, that don't go. Tension Japan John Race, Tony Tukere, Tratova, German Race, or Kuhimambo, Sonico, Tension Den, Desamlea Tratos, Shaw Race, or the Manico, Rangwina to Rangshin, Kadira says, and didn't do it. 딱수가 지고라. 텐디션 딱수가 지어서 용금도. 어디에도 코테네 딱봤으면 샤오래. 텐션 리번 좋아서 샤오래 시고라.
So you have to establish it as the experience of hearing the sound or the sound itself as being a dependent arising or of many different factors or a dependent designation as sound or hearing sound based on many different factors coming together. And there's nothing that can be found. It can't, what do you say, withstand an analysis. There's when you analyze, you can't come up with something that is this essentially existent sound or essentially existent hearing of the sound.
Oh yeah, danga jude nibadira. Dangiga niba nyenja tindu kabudelo sumduga. Ani trakora de mawe chebabu inda mayese tinde takse chen kabade tandu dora. Oh, dangiba de trada trenen zingminzigi tala kabase dira. Oh, dangiba trada trenen zingire da matrenen zingire tinde takbase ani rangune tuba kagiyora. De shenya se. Ke
Dutse joke dog dus.
ane karja.
It's hard to.
De sana dura, o de. Shenya kede nawe wongbo ta tra trading zimba yina sigura. Kede try the transina nawe wongbo ta trani tune trading zingi yona sura na sigura. Kede trene transina try ngobo kangen zinse. Trebe ngaru je try ngobo kangen zinji mebartas. Ko traje ne pa train to win tibaru traje ndogro. Tingaru ke trade ni zingi mebartan dogre sigura. Try tangbo de kangen zinse. 판로그래 고니버 숨바 깨지 망부치네니 피네 퇴고라 전다 자당부데다 된게 매버렌도 그래시거라 게데 나외 공보다 퇴데 tran지네 퇴뱅아로 이제 자당부 강긴세 진지 매버타스 게데 퇴데 tran지나 자예 당부 강긴세세 진지 매버타로시거라 어 나외 공보자 미진 셴제자 미진 베체 자당부데 나외 공부 미진 셴제게 요마르시거라 Dona tra member tha, tra tangbo to tra member tha, na sheki nyensha mai be sigora. Oh, tene, tra ne ze go danyi chen yinbe, kyangbar mehon hose, tra de ko ze mangbo chokbe danyi chen re, chik kyang chi yungyo ho ma re sigora. Tra ne kyangba mehon na sigdwa. Tra zam ringbu chidaren zimbar gyurde, te dan chokba, tam me debe trila chokba yang, zimbar thal, kyo dana tra shindu, 대다자 나외원보다 최고의 치료선 달리 차셔 망보 요래 대주 강가대 아니 결 나외원보고 전국으로 해서 단에 장반 매원나 ring부 제대로 zembar 줄 스타링 부케지 되셔서 대칸데선 진토부란 진토부 말해서도 어다 디지털션 디버셔션 되래 저거도 디지털 되래
Here we're on the second part with 319 of this particular section, which is refutation by examining whether or not sound is apprehended through contact, that there's some kind of meeting, right? If sound is, that verse reads, if sound is apprehended through contact, what apprehends the beginning of sound? If sound does not come alone, how can it be apprehended in isolation? Furthermore, if sound is apprehended through contact with the ear faculty, what apprehends the beginning of sound before contact occurs? It follows that there is nothing with which to apprehend it, since neither the ear faculty nor any other faculty does so. If this is accepted, it follows that it would not be sound. It wouldn't be heard. Sound consists of 9 substances, and thus, since it does not come alone, how can sound in isolation be apprehended. It follows that smell and so forth, which are inseparably combined with it, would also be apprehended. For according to you, they must, like sound, have contact with the ear organ, with the ear faculty. So I think we'll just leave it at that, and then we'll begin again tomorrow morning.
Yeah.